Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey Blooded. My name is Dave. You will notice today we're in a little bit of a different setup than normal. We are retreating to my office in my home. Welcome to the office in the house of Dave here. My newborn is asleep in the other room and I have closed the doors and we're trapped in here doing the review today so that we can get this out to you guys without disturbing my newborn baby. But I do have some great news for you guys. Number one, the Whiskey Blooded website is up and running. Check it out at whiskey-blooded.com. It's got a couple posts. My aim here is to do 3 to 5 articles, blogs, reviews, whatever, per week. So you should see a lot of content going up. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. If you don't like the format, let me know. This is my first shot at a website since I was probably in college, maybe even before that. So it's been a while. Number two, I have a pretty rare bottle for us to review here today. So let's get into that. We are going to be reviewing Stagg Jr. So it's not extremely rare. It's not extremely rare, but it is rare enough. This is hard to find where I'm at. It's the byproduct of Stagg, which if you ever see a bottle of Stagg around and it's not costing you $1,000, you should buy it. Well, depending on how much you want to spend. I would say Stagg, you're probably going to pay a couple hundred at least. But this is a more readily available bottle. This ran me $55, if I remember correctly. So the cool thing with Stagg is that it is a byproduct of one of the most holy grail whiskeys out there. Something that as many people that like Pappy also like Stagg. So Stagg is one of the best names out there. This is a Buffalo Trace product, so it's distilled at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And like I said, it'll run you about 55 bucks, anywhere from I've seen $50 to $70. It is, if you can see the label here, this is kind of cool being on the webcam now. I can point things out a lot easier. If you see here, it is a 132 proof Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey. Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey. When you see that, you know that you are getting something that is going to taste, I don't want to say always great, but it's going to taste like other Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskeys. That means, that it's, whenever you see Kentucky on the label, means that it's 100% distilled in Kentucky. And why do we like bourbons that are distilled in Kentucky? Because the areas where they distill are on limestone. They sit on a layer of limestone. So all the water that's coming through goes through that limestone, which takes out the iron. So why is that important? Because iron tastes like shit, most simply put. Iron does not taste good in our drinks. It makes them taste overly tannic. It makes them taste chemically. So by taking the limestone, everything being water being run through limestone over time takes out that iron taste. So that's why we like bourbons that are distilled in Kentucky. It doesn't mean that's the only way. It just means that it's a pretty good way. So let's crack into the review of this bourbon. I've already poured myself, actually let me pour myself a little bit more since I'm running low. I tasted it right before this because the last time I tasted this, I didn't take my notes. So we're going to go into that. So let's pour ourselves a drink here. Sorry I don't have more of an angle here for us to do this review with, but we'll get the job done for today. So as you can see, let me hold up my color here. The color we're looking at with this, it is mahogany. It is very dark. There's a reason for that. It's 132 proof, and there's no age statement on here, but my guess is that this was sitting in a barrel for a while. It's also non-filtered, so it doesn't go through a filter, which it's going to be a pure, I don't want to say pure taste, but there's going to be more prevalent tones within this bourbon. So let's give it a taste here. I've got some notes. We'll compare it to that, and then I'll give you my overall rating. Wow, that is a ripe one. It's very strong. Very good. Oh, so excited I almost forgot to nose it. But the nose matches the taste, which is one thing I have in my notes here. As for the nose of this bourbon, in my handy little bourbon book that I keep my notes in, the nose is definitely cinnamon. It comes off a lot within this. So my guess is that this was charred pretty well. It's got some toasted oak. It's got some tobacco in the smell here. and some vanilla. So that's pretty classic. The only thing I would say is a little different here is that there are some powering cinnamon tones. Now, as far as the taste of the bourbon, we'll do one more. Why not? Yep, this is good stuff. It's cinnamon. It's some wood up front and some cinnamon and some vanilla up front. But when it hits the mid palate, which is, middle of the finish, toffee, a little bit of toffee, some tobacco, some caramel, which they're a little bit lighter notes, which is nice because every bourbon we taste, we don't want to taste the same. So this is a little different. It's got a long finish, and in that finish, you're hitting burn. I mean, you're definitely getting burn. It's 132.2 proof. You're going to get some burn, but it's a good burn. And you know what? It doesn't overpower, which is great. It's kind of sitting. It lingers in the back of your throat. You can feel a little bit of that cinnamon, a little bit of that vanilla. It's still there, just kind of lingering, which is awesome. A long finish on a strong, unfiltered bourbon. This is good stuff. So as for my overall rating of Stagg, 95 out of 100. The highest rated bourbon so far. I think it might be because I personally like higher proof bourbon. I don't like 80, 90 proof bourbon. I like higher proof. I love the fact that it's unfiltered because I feel like I'm getting a lot more of that cinnamon and that wood and that stuff that kind of gets probably pulled out when it's being filtered. And I also love the fact that this bottle here is the Stagg name, which, like I said, it's like a holy grail name, and it's the junior version, so it's only $50, and it delivers. That's my most important thing when I'm looking at these bourbons. They didn't just put this out so they can slap a Stagg name on it and make money. They put this out because they're proud of what they do, and this, from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, is one of the finest bottles that I've tried in a while. So go buy yourself one if you can find it near you. Try it, and in the comment section below, or anywhere, don't care how you get a hold of me, let me know what you think. And I would love to talk about this bourbon with you. Check out the website. Be back next week. Thank you, as always, for visiting the channel. And happy Whiskey Wednesday again to all you guys. Have a great day.